At exactly 6:30 a.m., I was jolted awake by the relentless blaring of my doorbell. It wasn't the gentle trill of my alarm clock or the chirping birds outside my window. No, this was a full-on assault at my front door. My heart pounded as I leapt from bed, jamming my feet into slippers and nearly tripping over the edge of the rug. My wife, groggy and half asleep, murmured something about ignoring it, but the anxiety buzzing in my chest wouldn't allow that. No one with good intentions rings a doorbell like that at dawn. I pulled aside the curtain and saw a well-groomed woman with tight posture on my doorstep. She wore a crisp navy blazer and had a chin lifted high in a way that suggested she thought she owned the ground she stood on. I had a sinking suspicion about who she was, the Homeowners Association. I opened the door, suppressing a yawn. Her eyes scanned my wrinkled t-shirt and pajama pants with clear disdain. "Mr. Blake, we need to talk," she declared, voice clipped and commanding. "I'm Dana Hargrove, head of the Elmwood Ridge HOA board. You might not know me yet, but I certainly know of you." My temples pulsed. Dana was probably in her mid-50s, with carefully styled hair and nails sharp enough to scratch granite. She exuded the energy of a high school vice principal on a power trip. Before I could reply, she continued, "We've received multiple complaints regarding unauthorized construction in your backyard. Specifically, a wooden structure in that oak tree. It violates at least 3 HOA guidelines." I blinked, still shaking off sleep. "You mean the treehouse?" I asked. Her lips thinned. "Yes, that. An eyesore in the oak tree. This neighborhood has rules, Mr. Blake. From what I understand, you failed to submit an architectural request form." I took a slow breath. It's a discrete structure. My kids have always dreamed of having a treehouse, and I built it with every safety precaution in mind. "Discrete doesn't override process," she snapped. "Elmwood Ridge has aesthetic standards. We can't allow makeshift huts to clutter our skyline." That stung. The treehouse was far from makeshift. I'd spent weekends designing and building it with care. The wood matched the tree bark. From the street, it was practically invisible. "You need to remove it," she said, finality in her tone. "Tear it down by next Friday, or face daily fines, formal complaints, and possible legal action." "Histoire de hair. That seems excessive." She shrugged. "Had you followed the rules, we wouldn't be here. The board has already made its decision. Good day." She turned on her heel, heels clicking like a gavel, striking judgment. I stood there, the morning sun casting long shadows behind me, blood simmering. Most people complied with HOA rules, however absurd. They feared the fines or didn't want the hassle. But I wasn't most people. Ironically, I knew building codes better than anyone in the county, because I was the county building commissioner. Since moving in 6 months ago, I hadn't advertised that fact. My job involved ensuring structures met safety regulations and issuing permits. While HOAs had internal rules, they couldn't override municipal or state law. If my treehouse was compliant, the HOA had little legal standing. Still, I needed to investigate. After breakfast, I hauled out the massive HOA binder we'd received at closing. Buried between landscaping and mailbox regulations, I found a vague clause on external structures. It listed sheds, pergolas, and playhouses requiring approval. Treehouses weren't explicitly banned. The language suggested review, not prohibition. Dana had skipped proper procedure. Typically, a resident submits a request. The board reviews, inspects, then approves or denies it. But Dana? She came to my door to intimidate me. That afternoon, my kids raced home, eager to play in the treehouse. My eldest, Zach, was mid-construction on a snack pulley system. He told everyone at school that his dad was the coolest. I forced a smile and told him to have fun, though a cloud loomed over me. The next day, we received a formal notice in the mail. Immediate action required, it read. We had 7 days to remove the treehouse or face escalating daily fines. My wife, Rachel, was alarmed. "Can they really do this?" she asked. "Only if we let them," I said. "The county codes support us. They can try, but we have the right to appeal." I called the HOA. Voicemail. I left a message requesting a formal review and cited the bylaws about post-construction approvals. No response. By midweek, a neighbor told me Dana had been bragging that she'd shut down the new guy's backyard monstrosity. Apparently, she had a history of targeting newcomers. One single mom had been harassed over a backyard greenhouse. She took it down just to avoid the drama. Another neighbor told me, if you stand up to her, do it publicly. Dana hates being embarrassed. But I didn't want to humiliate her. I just wanted fairness. We planned a small backyard gathering that weekend. Zach invited a few friends. Rachel baked cookies. We strung up a simple sign, "Welcome to our treehouse." Neighbors came out of curiosity. Most were impressed. One grandmother asked if her granddaughter could climb up. The girl giggled with glee. Then Dana showed up. She entered uninvited, trailed by a woman scribbling in a notebook. "Hope you're enjoying your final day with this structure," Dana said. "Would you like to see the plans?" I offered. "I've tried to contact the board for a review." "You shouldn't have built it in the first place," she retorted. "Your guidelines don't ban tree houses." "I'm requesting a hearing." "You won't get one. We have enough complaints. Our lawyer says we could demand demolition." That was a stretch. Their rules required a review. They hadn't even followed their own process. With respect, I said, "This feels personal, not procedural." Dana turned to the watching neighbors. "When one homeowner disregards rules, it affects us all." I kept calm. The treehouse is safe and compliant with county standards. It doesn't obstruct views or property values. Dana hissed, "You built without permission." That alone is grounds for denial. I submitted a request for retroactive approval. You ignored it. The scribbling woman looked uncomfortable. One of the neighbors raised his hand. "I have a trampoline." No one ever complained. "Irrelevant," Dana barked. "No, it's relevant," I said. "We're talking about safety. The treehouse is safer than most backyard equipment." The woman finally spoke. "Can we see the plans?" I handed over the folder. She flipped through it, nodding. "Well built. Painted a blend." Dana scowled. "We must maintain standards." The board agreed to a site visit on Monday. That weekend, I tidied up the yard with kids. We pruned the branches, raked the grass, and made the area spotless. Monday came. Dana, along with 3 board members, visited. They inspected the treehouse. One climbed up and complimented the view. Another noted how hidden it was from street. Dana pushed back. "It's still unapproved." I made my case. There are no safety violations. The HOA bylaws don't prohibit tree houses. I'm open to modifying its color to better match the tree. But tearing it down? That's overreach. Stephen, one board member, nodded. "We should vote." 3 out of 4 approved the treehouse, with a request to repaint it a darker shade. That evening, I received the official decision via email. The board voted 3-1 in favor of conditional approval. Dana's authority had slipped. Neighbors began sharing stories about her overreach. One resident even thanked me for standing firm. We repainted the treehouse a richer brown. Neighbors dropped by to compliment it. My kids resumed their adventures among the leaves. Dana avoided us after that. We exchanged stiff nods at the mailbox. Once, she muttered something about waiting for the structure to rot. Months later, at a community barbecue, Stephen and the woman, Maria, approached me. They asked if I'd consider joining the HOA board. "Thanks," I said, "but my day job keeps me busy." They smiled. "Fair enough. But know this, you helped us push for more balanced leadership." As we walked home that night, the treehouse silhouetted against the stars, my wife squeezed my hand. "So," she teased, "zipline next?" I laughed. Let's not give Dana a heart attack. Still, that treehouse stood as more than just a childhood hideaway. It became a symbol, proof that reason and resolve can win, even in the face of rigid control. And as long as it remained in our backyard, so did that quiet sense of triumph.